These ones are for common words and phrases. Different phrases. Shit. Hey guys, until somebody picks me up to sponsor me like a VPN or whatever, this video is sponsored by me. That's my merchandise, bunch of stuff, whatever. Links in the description down below. Enjoy the video. Hey everyone. So I'm really excited to do this video. It took me about 3 weeks after I finished this book for it to finally come through Amazon. And then it's taken me a couple of weeks to actually get to make this video, but anyways, here we are. So this is a travel journal / planner that I made for my eldest daughter, so my middle kid. When she was turning 20, we had talked a lot about she wanted to travel. She wanted to see the world. And she just turned 23, so I'm like 3 years late on this, but I'm ridiculously proud of finally doing this. And yeah. So anyway, so this book is available on Amazon, but that wasn't my purpose. It wasn't really to sell it. It was just, I wanted to make her something special. And like everything else that I do, I put a lot into it, and it's kind of extensive. Anyways, so the second half of this video will be me showing the additions that I did to this. Like I want to put a hardcover on it, and then I want to cover it with like this fabric. So I'll put that on the end, but I just wanted to do like a flip through of this book. So if you were interested in something like this, like I said, it is available on Amazon. I did used to have, in the first draft that I did, it had this watermark map print on the pages, but it ended up being really, really costly to print it that way. So I didn't go that route. And a lot of the things that I wanted to do to this book, once I got it into print, there were a lot of pictures and these beautiful quotes and stuff that I saw on Pinterest, and I wanted to print those out and I wanted to put them in here. But I am so happy with the way that this turned out that half of the stuff I wanted to do to it, I'm not even going to do. In fact, part of me doesn't even really want to touch it. I don't want to change really anything about it. But I'm definitely going to put the hardcover on it, and simply so it can last a little bit longer, because this is a paperback. Anyways, I'm saying a lot. I'm just going to go ahead and start opening it and just do a flip through so you guys can get an idea of what this is. Within this book, there is enough space for 3 journeys, and cruises are not included because I don't know a damn thing about cruises, and as much research and everything that I did into putting this in here and trying to encompass everything, the cruise, trying to put that in there was just throwing a wrench in the whole project. And I said, no, I'm just going to take it out. So this is like if you're going to backpack, drive, fly somewhere, whatever, that's what this book is for. I had it sitting kind of cockeyed, so now it's like bent a little bit this way, which is a little frustrating. But anyways, so this is the cover of it, and then this is what the back of it looks like. Okay, and I actually was able to do the let's see if you can see it that way there. So it's pretty thick. Okay, I was able to do this cover design on the site called Repr, where basically there's just all these different, like, thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures that you could basically put into the program, and it turns it into these little kaleidoscope thingies. And if you have a chance and you want to design something, check out Repr. It's REPPER. No, I'm not affiliated. I just think it's an amazing software. But without further ado, here we go. We're going to open it up. So here's the first page. And it says, if you find this travel journal sitting lost somewhere alone, please text or email its companion so that it may find its way home. So that it may find its way back home. If you decide it should be you instead to escort it through this world, Then make the journey worth it. Fill these pages with wondrous stories to be told. And then basically you just write your name and address, whatever, right there. Then the next page is the beginning, where I ended up putting a whole bunch of quotes in here. And this one is, to see the grain, wow, you think I could read? To see the world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. And there's Auguries of Innocence by William Blake. I'm not going to read every single quote in here, but as you can see, there's a bunch of quotes. Okay, and then here's my little dedication page to her. If you want to read any of this, just pause the video. Okay, and then here we go. This is so before you just go, and it goes over like important things that you're going to have to think about. Basically things that are like one and done. So passport, visa, power of attorney, and scuba certification. All right, and that's what the first few pages are. Okay, and it kind of goes into detail about where to do it, how to do it, the whole nine. Okay, additional important information. Then we've got this map here, and it says, don't call it a dream, call it a plan. Places I will go, places I will see. And this is basically so you can just kind of look at the map and kind of be like, that's where I'm going. You know. Anyways, I just thought it was something, like I said, I designed this with my daughter in mind. And even though she's already turned 23, and this was supposed to be done 3 years ago, life got in the way and I wasn't able to finish it when I wanted to, but I have no regrets because it came out so much better than I could have anticipated. And then the next few pages, there's a quote and then a place for you to put a picture. And so this one's for beaches. Okay, so you put a picture of beach right here. This one's for forests that you'd like to hike through, exotic places to be able to see, romantic places where I would share a kiss or two with someone special. Okay, and so in each quote pertains to that. Okay, everywhere else and in between. All right, so now we start planning our first vacation. So you would cut out a picture of your destination, and then you'd start writing. Okay, so destination, duration from when to when, who are you going with, when would you like to go. All right, and then we're going to start with some basic questions. You know, what do you know about this destination already? What do you expect to see? All right, and then here's a research part. Okay, well, there's a lot of research area. In fact, when we were talking about this, she has no idea that I made this book. But when we were talking about it, she wanted something that was like a journal, but also maybe like a ditto, something that she could just kind of fill in with research as she goes, but then also be able to keep track of the vacation. Hence why this is so damn thick. All right, so when we start talking about what you should know before you go, talk about the important stuff. You know, what language is there? Okay, also, we are American, and she's a young woman. So this is really written with that in mind, but it could apply to anybody realistically, okay? Traveler's checks, location of the embassy, embassy's phone number, driving requirements, and then are there any weird or unusual laws about driving or visiting the destination? Okay. Taxis, buses, what's the average rate? Current diseases that are common there, recommended vaccinations for visiting. I did update it to include COVID-19. Then we talk about the culture, any ways that might be interpreted as disrespectful, the time that you want to go, what's the weather like. And then before we get to the fun, good stuff, here's some space to write down any other like questions that could be of serious importance. So anything that you find out that might be good to know before you go. Okay, plenty of space. Okay, now we start with the funner stuff. All right, special places and landmarks, special events to see, other amazing aspects of this adventure. Will I be scuba diving? Yes, no, maybe. Again, don't forget to get your scuba certification before you go. How far in advance do you have to schedule your time off? Sorry, if you currently work, do you have available vacation? Vacation pay is covered here. Okay, then here on this next section, there is enough space to do 3 separate days of research for each particular thing that you're going to research. Okay, I'll show you. So first we start with the flights. Okay, so here's what you want your flight to be. Place for you to put a picture of a plane. All right, and then research day 1. Now the reason why I did this is because sometimes you can look on a Tuesday and sometimes you can look on a Saturday. One could be in the morning, one could be in the afternoon, evening, whatever. And you know, the rates change. So that's why there's so much, and it repeats, but that way you can kind of get your information together. So the name of the airline, flight numbers, blah, 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 how many people, pets, whatever, okay, bags, including ticket price. I mean, it's pretty full. And then it goes for 3 airlines, and then you have another day to do the same thing. So if you want to check 3 different places, 3 different days, you have enough space to do that. And then when you're done with that, you should have a total of, say, 9 entries, okay? So you're going to add up all of them, and then you're going to divide that number by 9 so that you can find out your average price. Now this is important because when you start deciding to put money aside and planning and budgeting how much this trip is going to cost you, you're going to take these numbers and you're going to transfer them to another page, and I'll show you that in a minute. So here's for your returning flight, same thing, same kind of information. Okay. And then after you're done with your returning flights, again, you have room to put the amounts, okay? Then you have car rentals, all right? That's there. And then you also have your lodging. So again, with your car rentals, you have space. And you're going to take all of the numbers that end up being there, and you're going to end up putting, so yeah, with the hotel lodging, same thing. You know, each one of these, you have like people who you spoke to. Just, I mean, you can pause the video if you really want to look and see each thing that's there. But now, okay, so total days, that is for your hotel lodging. And then, before I get to this part, just so I can show you. So here's where you're going to, on this page, okay, my trip to blank on blank will cost approximately. And that's where you're going to put your total amount of the bus, the lodging, the whatever. This doesn't include the money for like souvenirs and food and all that kinds of stuff. So be sure to put that in there. However, okay, scratch that. Obviously, I'm not paying attention to my own thing. So before you fill this number out, okay, you're going to take your airfare, car rental, and hotel. That's where those numbers are going to go. And other amounts for food. How much is it going to cost for food? All of this kind of stuff, okay? And in order for your dream vacation, you're going to put how much aside every paycheck, week, month, etc. Okay? And so you're going to have your goal amount, and this is a little travel map or savings log. And basically you can like write the amounts here and color them in as you go. There's your halfway mark. Put a picture of your destination here. Now back to here. So this is labeled travel guides and maps. On the back page, which I'll show when I do the second part of this video, this is going to get cut out and it's going to get glued to here. So you're going to have a nice little pocket for the travel guides and maps. Same thing with brochures and pamphlets. Okay, again, I'll show that in the next part of the video. Now let's start realizing the dream. Here's the part I was just going over. Which, the reason why those ones are in the front is because you can kind of get those before you actually start like really planning, before you start calculating and everything. You know, you can request those and whatever, okay? All right, so now your name of location, here I come. And then now here is a pretty comprehensive, and if I missed anything, there's plenty of space underneath most of it to be like, okay, this is the stuff that I need to do. So it's basically a checklist. So you have 6 months prior to the trip. 1 to 2 months prior, and space for you to put all of your information, your confirmation numbers, all of that kinds of stuff. And keep going. Okay, just a lot of information here. And then 1 to 2 weeks prior to the trip, and then 1 week before the trip, you're going to pack your bags. Here's a checklist for you to go through and check off everything that you've got packed. Okay, now down here I put on here this travel journal. Please note this journal for each vacation has pages for up to 10 days, so if you'll need more, by all means grab some extra paper before you leave the house. So that's kind of important to know. Full vacation packing list. Okay, very extensive. Again, if I missed anything, there's room. The day before the trip, here's your last minute checklist. Okay, and then relax. You're about to have the time of your life. So now comes like the journaling part. So you're going to paste a picture of you leaving to your destination here, if you want to print out some selfies that you took or whatever, okay? And then you're going to start journaling. You can even take this on the plane with you, or if somebody else is driving, do this on the road trip and start filling in these questions. You know, how am I feeling at the very beginning? Who am I traveling with? What am I most excited about? What am I nervous or scared about? Okay, bunch of questions. This space is for you to doodle. Okay, paste a picture of your arrival at the destination. Okay, and then upon arriving, you have all of these thoughts or these feelings, you know, so you can document like really just the whole experience, you know. And then, oh my gosh, dropping the thing. Sorry, technical difficulties. Okay, so space left blank for pictures. And then here we're going to do the same thing like I was talking about before. This is for you to, while you're on the trip, little pockets for you to collect things. So this is pockets for tickets, itineraries, receipts. Okay, you're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a little pocket there. Again, I'll show that in the next part of the video. All right. This is for you to record your memories in diary format. Okay. So it's 10 days worth. So you've got day 1. You've got places to put whatever you want. I mean, you want to draw. You want to put pictures, fine. You want to take some post-it notes with you and use the gluey part to get a little bit of sand. You know, that's where you would put this stuff, okay? And that goes on for 10 days. Okay, there's day 10. And then, now we're saying goodbye. So the exact same list that you came with, now here's one for you to basically inventory, make sure that you're taking everything with you, okay? It's the exact same thing that you packed, all right? A selfie of you leaving on the end of the trip. And then now, same thing, now you're going to document how you feel as you're leaving, any memories that you've made, the whole bit, all right? Again, if you want to pause this to read what the questions are, feel free, all right? You know, what did I learn? Who did I meet? What would I do differently? How has this changed me? All right? And then paste a picture of your arrival at home or at the airport, all right? Again, doodling space. And then upon arriving, what are the things that you notice when you get home? You know, normally when you've been gone for a while, you get home and home smells different, or, you know, it sounds different. Just, this is really to get you very immersed in the whole experience. What did you touch first, okay? Space left blank for more pictures, and that's the end of the first trip. And now for the next however many pages, again, the exact same thing for 2 more times. So 3 vacations altogether, okay? I think, yeah, so, and there's, so this is how thick it is for 1 vacation, okay? This is the middle vacation right here. So here we go with the 3rd vacation, and then not much is different until you get to page something or other. Here we go. Okay. So here's the end. Well, nearing the end. Okay. Hello. Okay. So these ones are for common words and phrases. Different phrases. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to one-handed hold this. So helpful words and phrases in Spanish, and then we've got French. I think I put Italian in here as well. I'm holding the camera with one hand, guys. I'm so sorry, but my little clip that was holding the stick doesn't want to work. Italian, and then Russian. And then there is space for you to put other languages in here as well. Okay, so those ones are left blank. Just important ones. And the reason why I didn't fill them out is, number one, I'm lazy, but also number two, just spelling them out, to me, probably wouldn't be so helpful. I figure if you can spell them like phonetically, like sounding them out, that would be easier. And you would know what you're saying versus me just writing it down and how to pronounce it. I think it's easier if you find that out on your own. And then after that, there's also space, just more words and phrases, okay? And then once we're done with that, you have new contacts and important numbers, because if you make friends out there and you want to record it, there you go. All right, more space. And then here we have emergency contact people and numbers. And what I suggest is using like post-it notes as bookmark thingies, you know, because that's kind of important. All right. And then here's just the explanation of why I made the journal a little bit further than what I just said. And there we go. That's it. So next I will record the, it'll probably be more like a slideshow. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that's it. Hey, real quick, it's editing me. It's Tuesday morning. I just sent the package off yesterday, so she should have it by Thursday. That's why the video is going up on Friday. Anyways, she has no idea that I made this for her. I know I've kind of already said that, but yeah, so she has no idea. That's why I wrapped it up in toilet paper. I thought that'd be kind of funny. Anyways, I just stuck it in a priority mail envelope and sent it to her that way. No context, no nothing. Also, I wanted to add that when we're going to get into the crafting part of it, half the stuff that I wanted to do to it, I didn't do because I just loved the way it looked. So I kind of left it as it is. I did do the cover and I did cut out the pockets, but all the pictures I wanted to add, no, I figure, you know, it looks so beautiful that for her to scrapbook it herself, I think would have made it a bit more special. So anyways, enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so for this project, I used a priority mail box. This is one of the ribbons. I got some fabric. And here's what the book started off looking at, or as. And then this particular flap, the book fit pretty damn good. And right here, I'm kind of showing that the width of that flap was perfect. It was just slightly bigger than the actual cover, so that worked out really nice. And then so I went ahead and I cut the two flaps out, okay, and I've got the measurements there. You can go ahead and pause it to see. Now for the book spine, I ended up making it slightly smaller than the actual spine, took off a slight bit on there. That's what it looks like when they're all cut out. And then here's the flaps that I was talking about. There's about 9 of them. No, there is 9 of them. So I cut those out and then they get glued to that back page. So that's how I did each one, with just a stick of glue. Worked out kind of nice. What's next? Okay, so then here's the ribbon. So this is the spine, what you see right there. That is the spine, and I ended up putting 3 ribbons. That's to use as bookmarks. Those are also hot glued down. And here's what it looks like so far. That's the hard covers put onto it, and then the spines are, you know, fed up through the top. And like I said, that this is all hot glued on, and see the spine is slightly smaller than the actual spine of the book. That's so to give it a little bit of flexibility. And then here's with the fabric. I cut a strip that would fit. It came out to, I think, like 9.5 inches. And what I did was I took the ironing board and I ironed down, kind of like back in the day we used to make book covers for our books with the paper bags. Same kind of concept here. So that way it would just kind of have a nice folded edge. And then here I've already glued the, I used Aleene's glue, that gold bottle, and I've glued it to the spine and both front flaps so far. That's where we're at. And before I glued it down, I went ahead and I cut these pieces for the tops, or for the spine, the top of the spines, as you can see right there. And yeah, then yeah, see those little, I'm gonna actually turn those into flaps. Okay, so everything's glued in place. And then here I'm showing you that I did a little bit more ironing, and this is getting it ironed and in place. And then now I've got it glued to the covers. So I did these little folds, whatever. So now I have that glued not only on the covers and the spine, but now I've glued the edges as well, and left these kind of folded over so that they form little pockets on inside in case you want to shove anything else in there. That one was kind of hard to do, so I was holding the camera while I was doing that, but here you go. Here you can see that this is a much better example. So there's two covers, or flaps for the covers, and then all I had left to do still was to do the stitching on those two pieces right there. And here's what I ended up doing. It's not the best sewing job, but I kind of like it. It worked. I ended up having to use pliers to shove the needle all the way through because it is through the cardboard as well as the fabric. So that's all stitched up. That's going to hold really nicely. And then finally, I had this old, I want to say almost like shoelace kind of ribbon stuff. And I went ahead and I used the Aleene's tacky glue. And that's how that stuff is, it's on the back and it's glued on the spine. The rest of it on that front cover, that is not glued down. And there you go, that's the finished product. Hope you like it. And again, if you were interested in this, this is available on Amazon. I'll put the links down in the description below. Bye.